Are you getting into some of the later parts of the story in Warframe and have heard about those sweet Coda Weapons? Or do you just want to beat up a boy band? Yes, you heard that right. Well, I'm Tipsy and today we'll be going over everything you need to know about hunting your Coda Liches and acquiring your Coda Weapons in Warframe. So remember to like the video and let's just get right into it. Coda Liches in Warframe are a newer addition to the Lich system found in Warframe 1999. The Coda Liches works a little bit different compared to the Tenet and Coda Liches. Unlike Coda and Tenet Liches, Codas don't steal resources, they don't have a rage meter and don't really level up. You would also notice a weird tag rod cyst appearing on your Warframe's neck while you have a Coda Lich active. Don't worry, it's purely cosmetic and will disappear once you have completed your Coda Lich. To farm Coda Liches, you need to have access to the bounty system in Warframe 99, so you need to have completed the Hex quest. But to actually buy and acquire the Coda Weapons, you will also need to be MR17, so keep that in mind once you actually begin to farm the currency to buy the weapons. But you could farm the currency to buy the weapons before getting MR17. Coda Liches are the main way to obtain these Coda Weapons in Warframe and works like a special mini-boss you can fight in Warframe 99, but keep in mind that you can only have one active Lich at a time. As shown by having a red, blue or green icon in the navigation menu in the bottom right side, that means you currently have an active Lich and cannot start a Coda Lich because there is currently one Lich already, and you need to take care of that one before you can start a Coda Lich. Defeating a Coda Lich will reward you with something called the live Heartcells, which are then used to purchase the Coda Weapons. Some Coda Liches can also reward ephemeras, posters and other cosmetics depending on the reward shown in the Coda menu. And if you are looking for a guide to kill your Coda or Tenet Lich, you can find those under the video or here on my channel as well. So after completion of the Hex quest, Tech-Rod enemies inside Holvania, extermination missions, Hellscrub and Legicide harvest missions, or in their bounty equivalent can drop something called the mixtape, and picking up this mixtape item will actually allow you to engage in hacking a terminal with it. Doing the hacking part will then activate a Coda Lich upon completion of the mission. Keep in mind that the Lich will be activated after completion or exiting the mission, so if you want to speed it up, you could just hack and activate the Lich and then abandon the mission, while the hack can be successfully completed to gain a Potency Mod, but failing it will still activate the Lich. And unlike the Coda and Tenet Lich, the Coda Liches are exempt from the progenitor Warframe system, so it does not matter which Warframe you use when starting your Coda Lich, and the weapon you get are shop based, so no need to actually reroll larvelings or candidates to roll a weapon you want. You just roll 6 different weapons each week from Eleanor, which means getting your Coda Lich is pretty straightforward. So Coda Liches are a little bit different when it comes to farming them. As Coda and Tenet Liches, you need something called the Requiem mods to complete the sequence, while the Coda Liches you just need to find one correct antivirus mod out of 8 antivirus mods. You still need to have to guess the correct mod, but you no longer need to guess the correct order of the mods. The Coda Liches also do not use the progress and rage meter system like the other Liches, making the farming experience a little bit easier to go about. And as mentioned, you also do not choose your own weapon, but the Coda Liches instead upon completion you will be given a currency which is called the live Heartcells, which can then be used to buy the Coda Weapons, requiring MR17 to purchase. So spawning in your Coda Lich is a little bit different, as you do not actually have to kill thralls or hounds and focus on a rage meter. Instead, all missions in Warframe 99 will now have something called the Duet chance applied to them, which will go from 25% to 50% to 75% and lastly 100%. And this will be the chance for your Coda Lich Duet to actually show up in those missions. Once you then complete a mission and no Lich shows up, the percentage goes up from 25 to 50%, and that mission node you have now completed will be taken off the list of the Duet chances. So there's no longer a Duet chance on that specific mission. This will continue until you spawn your Lich, forcing you to complete a new mission node each time to actually find your Lich. When you then do find your Lich and stab them, you will then reset the progress back to 25%, and once you actually complete all of the missions that was affected by the Duet chance, they will then reset and spawn up again. Personally, I just like to run bounties to do this and find my Duets. If I ran out of chances there or annoying bounty pop up, I just do a normal mission from the PC to find the Lich. Now instead of Requiem mods, we need something called the Antivirus mods, as mentioned, to progress your Coda Lich. The Antivirus mods can be gotten from a special bounty mission rewarding one antivirus upon completion with a total of 8 different antivirus mods. The first time around it would probably take some time to get your hands on all 8 different mods, but I do recommend while running your Coda Liches to actually farm the antivirus bounty as well whenever there is a Duet chance on it, or run it a few times here and there so you get your antivirus mods and are sure you have all 8 of them, as a Coda Lich will only be weak to one of the 8 antivirus mods, which will be needed to make the final hit on the Coda Lich as well to actually clear it. So you need to actually get the right mod, otherwise you can't complete the Lich. I recommend gathering at least 3 to 6 different antivirus mods before you actually begin heavily focusing on your Coda Lich Liches. As these videos do take some time to make, it would be greatly appreciated if you hit that like button and remember to subscribe. It really does help the channel a lot, and let me know in the comment if there's anything you want to see covered in another video on the channel as well. So after getting a mixtape in a mission and doing the hacking thing and actually activating a lich, you should be able to see that you have acquired a lich, and you will be able to see this in the escape menu, but also in the navigation menu at the bottom right side of the screen with a little green icon, which means you now have an active Coda Lich. Inspecting your lich will then showcase the rewards of completing the lich, either your Vanquish or if you actually convert it. But it will also show you which mods you have tried and which mods you have not tried so far. But now there's also a new section. Instead of a rage meter, we now have something called the Malware Disinfection section, where our goal is to reach 100% disinfection rate. And to do so, we need the antivirus mods to complete the Duet infected nodes in the Warframe 99. As each completion of the Coda controlled nodes will actually add 5% to the disinfection percentage, while getting the correct antivirus will add another 5% on top of that. And then with the Potency Mods, you can then use them to boost the numbers even higher. So without Potency Mods, you usually need around 10 successful encounters after finding the correct antivirus mods. With Potency Mods though, you can dramatically actually cut that number down of the missions needed to complete your lich. Also, you can only progress to 95% malware progress without the correct antivirus mod. As for the last hit, you need to have the correct antivirus mod equipped to actually do the hit. Also keep in mind that the Potency Mods only work if you have at least one of the correct antivirus mods in to activate the Potency Mods. So the first step of completing your Coda Lich is finding the correct and right antivirus mod. So from the start, I recommend equipping just 3 random antivirus mods to be tested. When you then find and stab your Coda Lich, it will test all 3 of them. Failing to get the correct one will just cross off the ones you have tried so far and then replace all of the wrong ones until you find the one correct antivirus mod. So you just have to keep repeating this until you actually have found the correct antivirus mod. From there on, we can take a look at the Potency Mods to boost the percentage to your Malware Disinfection. And again, keep in mind that the Potency Mods only activate when you have the correct antivirus mod equipped as well. Finding your Coda Lich is pretty straightforward, as we just need to hover over the Coda Lich controlled nodes or bounties, and we should see the percentage chance of a Duet showing up in that mission. And this goes up by 25% each time until you find your Coda Lich and stab it. At this point, all controlled nodes are reset and you can begin again till you have found your Coda Lich. Just remember to change out your antivirus mods on your Parison until you find the correct antivirus mod for your current Coda Lich. And I also personally recommend doing the bounties first, as they also have the Duet chance but also bounty rewards on top of this, and the Tech Rod cache as well. So there's a good chance that you will find the Tech Rod cache in the mission, giving you 100k credits on top. So just mixing some different farms in one is a decent idea to do it. Now that we know how to find the correct antivirus mod and also know how to find a Coda Lich, we just need to repeat that progress until you have found the correct antivirus mod. From here we equip the correct antivirus mod in the first slot, and in the 2 other slots we can put in the Potency Mods. Because completing the mission gives you 5% malware progress, while stabbing the Lich with the correct antivirus will give you another 5% malware progress, which is only 10%, which is pretty slow, and this is where the Potency Mods comes in, which can be used alongside the antivirus mods to speed up the progress of defeating your Coda Lich. So as you can see here, the Potency Mods can increase the antivirus gain by 10 to 15%, while also giving a secondary bonus such as a chance of a drop of an antivirus mod, Potency Mod, or live Heartcells, affinity, and all credits. Early on, if you have them, I recommend stacking Threat Blocker and Turbo Protect to build your arsenal with more Potency Mods and antivirus mods, while later on, once you have a small collection, you can then main the Immuno Shield to actually finish up your Coda Liches a little bit quicker. When you have a Potency Mods on, you will stab a Lich and it will go through all your Potency Mods. So if you have 2 Potency Mods active, each will decrease by 1 rank as you have used them one each time when a hit, meaning each time you stab a Lich, it will derank 1 rank until it disappears. And each of these Potency Mods can then be used of a total of 3 times. Once then fully used, they will become corrupt, and you can then turn them into Endo, sell them, or transmute them into another Potency Mod. Now you just need to progress your Coda Lich malware percentage to 100%. Just keep in mind that the last 5% can only be done with the correct antivirus mod, otherwise the way you get up to 100% is totally up to you. Once the Lich has progressed to 100%, the boy band will make their final stand inside a railjack mission, which is a small boss run where you'll have to fight the Coda Liches, which is the boy band. And I recommend using a little upgraded railjack for this, or hope for joining a squad which has the upgraded railjack, as you will need to destroy some structures that can take a little bit of time in an unmodded railjack, and this is just to increase the time to actually complete the mission. And depending on squad size, just as the Kuva and Tenet sisters, you will also have to kill multiple bosses one by by one until all of the Coda Liches are defeated depending on your squad size. But there is a little bonus. You will also get a bonus of 1 live Heartcells per extra Coda Lich you complete in a squad. To get into the boss room, you'll have to shoot all of the different screens before you get into the boss room. Then once the boss fight in itself starts, it can be a little bit difficult if you have a squishy frame, because there is some scene mechanics that can happen throughout the boss fight, and getting hit by these 3 times will give you a debuff, doubling the damage you take, but you will also be buffing the Coda boyband. So just defeat enemies on each side of the stage, then the Coda will come down every once in a while and you just defeat that. And it will repeat until the full boyband actually comes down from the scene and you can beat all of them to finish off the Coda Lich. Now lastly, when you actually kill your Lich, you will have 2 options, to either convert or to vanquish the Lich. Converting the Lich lets you trade it with other players or use it as a crewmate on your railjack, but you lose out on the live Heartcells and the rewards, which can be seen from the Lich inspec window. So you can actually see what you get by clicking these tabs, and you can see what you get from converting and what you get from vanquishing. But the main goal here is to vanquish the Lich, because we probably want the live Heartcells so we can actually buy the Coda Weapons, right? So I only recommend converting if you have a specific reason for it. Most of the time you want to vanquish the Lich to actually get the Heartcells needed to buy the Coda Weapons. Once you vanquish the Lich and extract from the mission, the live Heartcells will be delivered to your inbox, together with any Ephemia or other things the Lich had. Now with your acquired live Heartcells, we can visit Eleanor in Halvania and see which weapons she has to offer this week, as the Coda Weapon Shop is a weekly rotating shop with random bonus status effects and percentages on the weapons, and you can only buy 1 of each weapon per rotation. It will require you to be at least MR17 to buy these weapons, but you can also farm the live Heartcells beforehand, so you're ready to buy them once you actually reach MR17. Also, you could just buy a weapon with a lower percentage, or you could wait for a 60% weapon to appear, as that can happen. Personally, I just wait for 55% plus weapons and buy them, so I don't have to worry too much about getting multiple of them to actually get a high percentage roll. But that is completely up to you, as there is only a small selection of weapons each week, and it is random with the percentages and the status effect on those weapons. When it comes to trading Coda Liches, Warframe.market does not have a section for Coda Liches, so you will have to use the in-game trade chat to actually trade them. When it comes to trading a Lich, you will just need to head to the dojo. From there you can fast travel to the Crimson branch, where you can then request trades for the Lich with other players. And then it works just like any other trade. Now with that, you should be able to finish up your Coda Lich in Warframe, and hopefully you have gotten the information you came for. So I hope you have found the guide helpful, and if you did, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, it really does help a lot. And if you want more Warframe tips and tricks, check out my other videos and come join us on the Discord to be part of the community. And again, a big thanks as always to everyone supporting on the Patreon or here on YouTube. Thank you very much. Then all I have to say is stay tuned, stay tipsy, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.